One last question here, I think, yeah. One factor that indicates a developed economy's standard of living is its GDP per capita or GDP per person. So I went like 3 years in economics thinking like per capita was like some reference to like the size of land or something. Something that didn't make sense for sure, that I just made up. Turns out capita comes from like, is supposed to mean per head, which in modern English transfers to per person. So I didn't know that for like way too long. And GDP is the gold standard of an economy's well-being or a country's well-being. Although it is imperfect, there are other ways to measure this. One of them, if I remember correctly, being the Gini coefficient. And the Gini coefficient or Gini index, if I remember correctly, is I might be breaking this, by the way, but I believe it's a 45-degree line out there, or a 45-degree line upwards, where if it's 45 degrees, you've got perfect equality. So GDP per capita measures well-being by production or output per person, whereas the Gini coefficient measures output or measures well-being by how equally distributed a nation's well-being is. And so let me read this quickly. So you might think of a nation like the States, where the top 400 richest people have like more income than bottom 90%, is it? Bottom 80%, something more than most of the country combined. So that's a very unequal country. The countries that are more equal and would be, so the states would be something like this, whereas somewhere like, I think like Denmark has relatively lower spreads. They might have something more like this as their Gini coefficient. So if you are looking at well-being as, you know, the country as a whole, sometimes the Gini coefficient can be a better indicator of that. There's a lot of debate around the Gini coefficient. Another thing to look into if you're interested in these kind of things is purchasing power parity, or PPP, which is a method of equating currencies all around the world to one sort of currency, so that you can really see how strong purchasing power is in different countries for different people. Those are a couple others on top of GDP per capita, but GDP per capita is certainly the number one way. So I'm going to say that's correct. I think that should wrap it up here. Yeah. So thank you for watching. This has been Kevin from OneClass. If you like the video, you can subscribe. Should be on the screen somewhere. You can subscribe. If you wanted to ask your own questions, there should be a link below the video. You're welcome to like this and share it with your friends. This has been Kevin from OneClass. Thank you for watching.